In this video, we will explain how to interpret phylogenetic trees. Let's start off with a definition. A phylogenetic tree is a branching diagram showing the inferred evolutionary relationships among various biological species. In order to understand the phylogenetic tree, we need to know the basic parts of it.
Okay, so I'm going to explain the basic parts of the tree, and we can see the two different types of phylogenetic trees that we have. So the first thing that we should look at is the ancestors, which we can see here. And the ancestors lead to the descendants. So all of these are also ancestors, and they're leading to the descendants, which are these A, B, C, A, B, C. They're all descendants. Also, what we can see here is that the branches of the tree, right here, the branches, those are the ones that diverge out from the nodes. And a node is where the branches break off. So both of these are nodes in this slide. And then the roots of the tree is obviously where the ancestors are.
So here are different clades you could find within a phylogenetic tree. The first one is a monophyletic clade, which includes all its descendants and its most recent common ancestor. The second one is a paraphyletic clade, which includes some of its descendants and its most recent common ancestor. And the third one is a polyphyletic clade, which includes its descendants from different ancestors.
Alright, so here we have equivalent trees, and as we can see that if you move one of the branches around the tree, it does not make a difference in this case. So here we're looking at the moss, the fern, the pine, and the rose. And then in this one, we have the moss, fern, rose, and pine. So here the rose and the pine are switched, but it makes no difference to the phylogeny of the tree. And then same thing with this example. It's moss, pine, rose, and fern, and these are switched, which makes no difference to the phylogeny of the tree. Also, there's another example to see the rotation around the nodes. And as we can see here in both of these, the nodes are rotated, but it did not make a difference from what we had started over here. So even if you do rotate the nodes, the phylogeny stays the same as long as you're not changing the ancestors and the descendants.
Here is a list of different types of trees. The first one is a cladogram, which shows the relationships between different groups of species called clades. Second one is phylogram, has branch spans proportional to the amount of character change. The last one is chronogram, which represents evolutionary time through its branch length. Here are some examples of different types of trees we discussed in the earlier slide. As you can see here, cladogram shows a relationship between the clades. Phylogram has branch spans according to character change. And chronogram is evolutionary time through its branch lengths.
Here are the definitions of the traits you can find in a phylogenetic tree. So the first one is a synapomorphy, which is a shared derived trait, a symplesiomorphy, which is an ancestral character or trait shared by two or more taxa, and then lastly a homoplasy, which is a character shared by a set of species but not present in their common ancestor.
This example shows the traits that we previously talked about on the other slide. So here, jaws, lungs, claws, or nails, and fur and mammary glands are all synapomorphies to the perch, salamander, lizard, pigeon, mouse, and chimp, but not the hagfish. The hagfish is an outgroup, which is a taxon outside the group of interest. It is not shown here, but the mouse and chimp have 4 limbs, which is a symplesiomorphy.
Okay, so here we can see an example of a homoplasy between a bird wing and a bat wing. And these are representing a homoplasy because they come from a different ancestor but share the same characteristics.